Hello there, welcome to the wonderful world of metal detecting. I'm here today at a 18th century mansion house with a church attached to it. I've already done most of the lawns outside the church and so on. Found a lot of Victorian pennies, George V pennies and so on and such forth. A lot of modern stuff as well. This field behind me here used to be used for fairs, in fact still is once a year. Hell of a lot of rubbish here, so I've brought a small coil and I'm going to try and pick some decent finds out of all the rubbish. And I might always have a go on there as well, just in case I've missed anything. The coil I'm using is the 11-inch stock coil. Comes with the E-track, but I'll probably switch to an 8x6 later. Well, I've had a couple of digs which I'll edit out. One was a modern penny, one was a modern pound coin. I've been in probably 4 or 5 minutes and I've got another signal here. And hopefully it'll be a coin in here. It looks like a coin ball, you know how the earth kind of hardens around a coin. It is, but it's a pre-decimal half penny, 1962. Now this one's a little bit older by the looks of it. In fact, it looks so old that it's just totally worn away. Totally gone, that one. Not going to get a date off it, unfortunately. This is actually the same hole as I've just had that really worn halfpenny out. And there's another halfpenny. I put the sod back down and I went back over with the detector just to check there was nothing else there. But there was something there. That looks like 1915 or 1916. Halfpenny. So that's a George V. Oh, that's another halfpenny. It's another George V. And it's the same as the last ones. Another halfpenny. Another old one. Another George V. 1912, that one. Got a lovely patina to it. George V. Pretty worn on that side. 1920. I've been getting absolutely plagued by bottle tops that read 1239, 1240 or 1241. This is the same reading and I'm pretty sure it isn't a bottle top. The reason I don't discriminate against those bottle tops is because it can give the same signal as a big copper coin or a silver coin as well. So there's something in there. And it's an old threepenny bit. Yeah, it's a halfpenny. They give some awful signals. I would say I'm digging 2 bottle tops to every coin now, so I'm going to give up in this place and I'll give it another 5 or 10 minutes, but this looks like a coin ball in this one. Remains to be seen whether it actually is. Something metallic in it. Another threepenny bit. I wish I could find some of the silver threepenny bits. This is reading a very constant 1241 and hopefully it's a coin, which it is. It's another George V because it's 1934. Hopefully this is another coin ball. It's jumping around all over the place on the right hand side of the screen but nestling up towards the top. So I'm kind of thinking it's either an old threepenny bit or a halfpenny. Oh, it's actually a penny. Actually a penny. Found plenty of them. There's all manner of foulness around here, cocking the signal up. Just hope that this one is a coin. It's given roughly the right signals. There's the little halfpenny. That wasn't jumping around as much as the penny, which is very strange because normally it finds it hard to lock onto these sorts of things. They're just made of absolute rubbish. There's another penny. Very dark one, this one. Oh, it's a Victoria. The old Victoria, so it's towards the latter half of the 1800s. It's actually got a lot of detail on it as well. Probably won't stay as good as this, but it's 1896. It's nice, it's the oldest one I've found so far today. Next to this gate, it's a bit of a hot spot. There's a hell of a lot of rubbish, but I've also found a few coins as well. Hopefully there's another one in here. This is reading 1240. It's a lovely strong signal. Oh, there's actually two. A penny and a halfpenny. George VI penny, by the looks of it. And I think it's an Edward. Oh no, it's a George V halfpenny. George V, George VI. There might actually be more in there. I'll stick these in my pocket and have a look. Certainly something else in. It's another halfpenny. Another George VI. And there's something else as well. I'd like to think that in amongst all this stuff there was a bit of silver, but it's probably asking too much. No. Another halfpenny. Very worn, this one. Can't even see who it is. Very worn. Yet something more in there. Yet another halfpenny. That's actually a late Victorian one. And I think that's it. Wasn't bad, 4 or 5 cons out of one hole. This is a decent signal. Reading 1035, it's jumping around a little bit, but it says it's about 6 inches deep, so that's where I've gone. Yeah, I was going to say I'm probably not deep enough, but it looks like I am, and there's a bit of silver. Marvellous. 1944 sixpence, that's the first bit of silver. Found a few pound coins, a few more pennies, and some bottle caps that give a 1240 reading, which is almost exactly the same as pound coins. So I've dug all of them, but that's the first bit of silver, so that's very nice. Left that field now. Had a quick go outside the church, but I've done that one to death and hardly even got a signal there. This is what I found in that field. Collection of coins, one bit of silver, and a few little knickknacks, which probably is amount to nothing. But there's quite a few coins there, not too bad. I'm going to have a look along the end of this road, take a right and then swing round in front of the big mansion, see what I can find there. Just pulled up a National Fire Service button. It's been squashed, this one, unfortunately. But National Fire Service was stationed here, Second World War. It's interesting. Here's a good example of the E-Trax see-through ability. There's an old coin. George V penny. In the same hole, big lump of burnt coke. The only signal it picked up was that. It's reading 1241, which is pretty much exactly where they always hit. These were right next to each other, and it totally ignored the coke. Yeah, it's a little musket ball. I always like to find either a bit of silver or a musket ball. There's a halfpenny. Very worn. It's early Victoria. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to see a date. 1861. That's a, well, pre-decimal, but it's a modern 2 shillings. I wish that was a bit older and called a florin. Be made of silver. This is just made of alloy rubbish, unfortunately. If only it was silver. God knows what that is. I thought it was a candlestick or something, but I really don't know. It could be a light fitting. Looks like it hangs. There's nowhere for any electric to go though. Really got a hole through it as well. No idea what that is. Balls. Marvellous. That's another good example of the E-Track's see-through abilities. Another National Fire Service badge. And a lump of coke. I just never seem to dig coke unless it's in the same hole as something good. Really excellent machine. I've come round the front now. I've been around here a few times and found very little. A couple of George V silvers, but nothing in particular. I think this one's a coin, possibly a halfpenny. It is a halfpenny. It's one of the modern ones. Right, I'm back home now, and here's a quick rundown of what I found. These are all old pennies. Some have got reasonable amounts of detail on, especially the Victoria there. Not bad. I think that was 1896. These are all old halfpennies. Plenty of them. These are all modern pennies in the middle of the screen there. Loads of them. And then you move on to threepenny bits, modern pound coins, silver sixpence, 2 National Fire Service badges, one of which has been run over, unfortunately. That one's pretty good. It's missing the back, unfortunately. 2 shilling piece, halfpennies, a 2 pence, 10 pence, and a 5 pence. These various bits of, well, I don't know what they are, bits of knickknacks of some sort. 4 wing nuts. Not quite sure what they are of. And this perhaps came off like an old craft knife or scalpel. It's got checkering on here, as if you would hold it and do something with it. And this is some sort of fitting or other. I'm not exactly sure what its story is, but that turns to obviously lock something into there. I can only imagine it hung from a ceiling and something hang off it. I don't know. Musket ball, a ring of some sort, and a little pendant, which unfortunately isn't silver. The only silver thing is that, which is a 1944 sixpence. It's in pretty good condition, George VI. So So that's a one for the collection. But 58 coins in about 3.5 hours. It's not too bad.